Guys, actually, you know what? I want you guys, since we're doing a just chat, okay? Um, yeah, let me watch a video on this. All right, so this is what I was diagnosed with, right? Okay, and I've always treated it like, yeah, Ryan. Hey, can I get a shout out for Ryan? There's no sound. Well, I just turned it off. Let me know if you guys can't hear it. But I've always not looked into it, right? Because who wants to look into that shit, right? They're just going to take your doctor's word. I do. I'm guilty of it. I'm like, I'm going to take the doctor's word. I'm going to go ahead and just take. But I've never looked at it. But this is what I was diagnosed with. So let's do this one. Yeah, I think this is the newest one. This is the newest one. All right, so let me know if the video's loud, guys. Yeah, I'm dealing with stuff, Brian. Like, I decided since my therapists don't want to listen to me, maybe I'll talk to you
That
guys.
painting that I absolutely believed talked to me. I had many conversations with it over the past few years.
Huh.
It's a simple painting, a countryside landscape with a lake and a man walking alongside it. It sits in a place of honor.
See, I've never talked to it. I don't talk to pictures. It's not like that with me. It's really low. All right.
To all the other
How's that?
accomplishments in my life. Now, I'm celebrating my next big
Is
accomplishment.
that good?
I have learned to live with my diagnosis. You see, I have schizophrenia, and
Uh,
this
uh,
painting.
okay. I've never talked to a painting. All right. It's not like that for me. It's Pardon me, guys. This is hard for me to talk about. I don't really open up like this to people. Um, it's more of you know how you talk to yourself, right? You know how you guys talk to yourself, right? You'll think, oh man, I shouldn't have done that, and you can hear your own voice, right? Well, imagine you don't think that, and you hear something, you hear another voice. Nah, Ryan, I need to talk, man, and I want to have some fun with you guys and look up crazy shit like you guys can tell me, but I'm just I've got to figure out how to handle this. I've got to figure out how to deal with this, you know. So let's continue watching, but I don't talk to pictures.
Is a reminder of how far I've come in my mental health journey. About 2 years ago, I started to notice some changes in myself, but I didn't understand what was going on. I had been working at my first real job for about a year. Things were going well at first, but then I started having a hard time concentrating.
Yes, yes.
After a while, I also started to see objects move on their
Yeah,
own.
I know, guys.
As time went on, I started to hear a painting that I received from a friend talk to me, and it wasn't very long.
Okay, see, so I have like a really hard time thinking, and that's why I'll slur some of my words or I'll not be able to say what I'm thinking. I've got that big problem. I've never seen anything move by itself. I have, however, noticed had hallucinations out the corner of your eye. It's a little different because everybody gets that, right? They're like, "What was that?" Right? Well, this one's kind of like you'll see it and like it'll feel like it's right there with you. And but I've never talked to a painting. That's a new one on me.
Before I talked back to it. Also, people sometimes didn't seem to understand me when I talked to them, and I started to really struggle at work.
I have that a lot too.
It was only much later, about a year after first noticing the symptoms, that I talked with a psychiatrist and became aware of what
Mine
was
has done
taking
absolutely
place.
nothing for me.
My
guys.
psychiatrist
Nothing.
told me about a mental illness called schizophrenia.
They gave me Seroquel.
Schizophrenia is a serious
But-
mental health disorder. It can significantly impact how someone acts, thinks, and feels. It interferes with the logic that they would typically use,
Yep.
and they can begin to act in ways that seem strange to other people.
See, Chad, I'm
For
opening up to
example,
you guys.
I really
I'm
believed
opening
that I
up.
was seeing objects move on their own, and I could talk to them. I now know that I was having hallucinations and delusions, some of the symptoms of schizophrenia. Everyone with schizophrenia has their own unique experience, but the condition includes a few specific types of symptoms. One symptom is hallucinations,
Yeah,
when your
it's
senses
tough.
perceive something that isn't really happening. Hallucinations can happen with any of our senses.
The worst part about it is you feel like you're losing control.
Like seeing things that aren't there, known as visual hallucinations. Or feeling something is on or happening to your body
I
that
don't
isn't
have
really
that,
there,
thank God.
called
But you feel like you lose control of your life. You feel like you're losing control of your friends, your family.
tactile
I don't wish it on my worst enemy, to be honest with you. It's horrible.
hallucination. Hallucinations can even extend to one's sense of smell, referred to as olfactory hallucinations. Auditory hallucinations, like hearing voices, is the most common kind of hallucination in schizophrenia. The voice I heard from the painting was so clear, just like someone was standing next to me talking to me.
Yep.
I had no control over the voice. I couldn't make it go away on my own. People living with schizophrenia might also have delusions or strong beliefs.
Now, I will say this. When the voices are bad, the Seroquel helps. And guys, I'm by the way, I'm not trying to make anybody feel uncomfortable. If you want me to change the subject, we'll change the subject. I appreciate you watching this with me, but I'm just, I guess I want to understand it. I want to understand it.
Beliefs in things that are not true. This might be a belief that another person or group is out to harm you or is controlling you or your thoughts.
That is the worst part.
Another example of delusion is that you may think you're a famous person from history, or that you're in a relationship with a famous person. People living with schizophrenia may also have symptoms that impact their ability to think clearly. This is called disorganized thinking and is typically seen in the way a person talks. For me, I would talk about things that did not quite fit reality. People living with schizophrenia might also have a hard time focusing or paying attention. I frequently bounced from one topic to other unrelated topics, and people thought my answers to their questions were odd. Disorganized behavior is another symptom of schizophrenia. For me, I acted in more and more unpredictable ways, like getting agitated very quickly. For others, this could manifest by repeating a specific motion or phrase out loud, over and over again. For people living with schizophrenia, they might look like they don't have the usual range of emotions. This is called flat affect. I was having a tough time with my mood. I didn't enjoy the things I used to. It was really difficult relating to other people, and I didn't want to be around them. The people that I did interact with were confused by what they saw happening to me.
Anyway, yeah, guys, I gotta say, this is to the T. What I deal with, to the T. Except for talking to paintings and stuff. I don't. do that.
The good news is that treatment for schizophrenia is available. My family noticed a change in me and urged me to see a doctor. After some time, I saw a psychiatrist. With the help of my family, I told her what was going on.
My psychiatrist put me in the psych ward. Involuntarily put me in the psych ward. Now, would you want to go see a psychiatrist like that? You're going to tell me that I want to kill myself? No, I never said I want to kill myself. I just don't care if I die. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. But she didn't want to listen, so she put me in the psych ward. Again, I'm sorry. If I'm too personal or uncomfortable, let me know. I'll stop.
She asked me about how long my symptoms had been going on and how they were impacting my life. I started taking medication, and over time, after finding which medication and dosage was right for me, together we figured out the best treatment plan for me. She also recommended that I see a counselor to help me work on social skills and cope with the ups and downs of my treatment journey. I now have a
Okay, but what if you feel like that counselor doesn't understand you, right? So you feel like the counselor doesn't understand you. You feel like when you're talking to this person, because a lot of people, I've always read body language, right? I've always read body language. I've always been that guy who's always wanted to know who my friend or my enemy is just by now. And there are times I don't trust my gut and I pay for it, but I've always read that. And when I get treated like I'm going to be a problem, that doesn't help anybody, right? So it's just like, I don't, and then people go crazy and they're like, well, why didn't they get any help? Well, my wait time right now for a new psychologist is 10 months. 10 months. So I'm just like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You know?
support team that helps me manage my schizophrenia symptoms. My family, my psychiatrist, and my counselor help me throughout my journey. There are good days and not so good days, but I have learned how to live with schizophrenia. This painting is my reminder of how far I've come.
All right. Well, that actually made me feel a little bit better getting that off my chest with you guys. Guys, give me something to watch. Let's watch something lighthearted, funny.